All right, welcome back to another episode of
Welcome.
Get Real, everyone. Hosted by me, Peniel of B2B.
Me, BM from Card.
And me, Ashley.
Yes, and we are going to be getting honest about all the ups and downs of young adulthood, but from our perspectives. And today we are talking about pressure.
Pressure. We
Yeah.
have a special guest too.
Yes,
Oh,
very special
okay.
Boss
guest.
man.
So, who is our special guest? Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Harold. My name is Eric Nam. Hi, Eric Nam. This is ASMR. Oh, I hate
Wow.
ASMR. We're switching to ASMR. Hey guys, this is Eric. Nice to see you guys.
Woo. Welcome to
Hey.
Get
Alright.
Real, Eric.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Have you
Alright,
been
alright.
listening to our episodes?
I have. I most recently heard your episode on aliens.
What'd you
and-
think?
Oh,
Well, I didn't realize that BM was so passionate.
They're watching.
I was fascinated. I had a good laugh.
he's
So-
always talking about him.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, are
trying
you
not
just
to.
generally fascinated or obsessed with aliens? I don't understand.
I was always like, are they real? Are they not? And then after watching Unacknowledged, the whole documentary on
Uh-huh.
Netflix, I was just like, okay.
Yo, I
That's
tried
crazy.
watching that. They took it down.
You know why? The
Why?
government's watching. That's
Oh.
why.
All right, how much? How
The
much?
next thing, this is probably going to be the
How-
next thing they take down. They're going to
How
take down.
much did Unacknowledged pay you? Just be
They
honest.
didn't pay me anything.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways,
Y'all doing well though?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a bit.
It's been a while. You've
Right?
been
You've
busy.
been busy.
You've been
I
busy.
mean, we all busy, you know, just kind of doing
I'm
our
not that
thing.
busy.
We play your song on my radio all the
Oh,
time.
really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Paradise.
Thank you so much.
Get them extra royalty fees.
I know, like all the
Yeah,
2 cents we
extra,
get.
Yeah,
Yup,
2
yup,
cents.
yup.
10
You'll
cents.
never know where that 2 cents might take you.
Hey, play it 10 times. You could buy an ice cream.
Woohoo.
Oh, you can get an ice cream for 20 cents?
Anyways, today we're talking about pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah, you know, there's all sorts of pressures: air pressure, water pressure. I'm just kidding. Yeah. What are the kinds of pressures that we kind of experience on a daily basis? As,
Peer pressure,
Sure, I was gonna
Job
say
pressure.
as
Job pressure.
work pressure.
entertainers, but peer pressure, I guess.
You can face
Do you have
peer
peer
pressure,
pressure
as
as a-
Pressure.
entertainers.
Public pressure,
Mm-hmm.
pressure to maintain a clean image.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel pressured about the most these days?
It's just self pressure with
Mm.
like work.
Self pressure is big.
Yeah.
Self pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you, Eric? Our guest for today.
What do I feel pressured about? I feel pressure about everything.
Everything.
I think I feel pressure about everything where it's like,
You're in your head a lot, huh?
I am in my head a lot. I think it's a lot, and it's a lot. And it's really exhausting.
Huh?
You know?
It's a lot and a lot.
It's a lot and a lot.
exhausting.
But-
Alright.
I mean, I think there are obviously different types. Like you get peer pressure. I mean, I feel like people generally think they grow out of peer pressure
Mhm.
Mm,
after school, but I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so. Nuh-uh.
I feel like it's prevalent wherever you go.
Yeah.
That's kind of
whatever you
what
do.
like the pressure to feel like you have to stay in trend is pretty much. It's like, oh, like everyone's doing it these days, so I got it. That's pretty much peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like TikTok.
Yeah.
Freaking
You're a TikTok master though, Eric.
Let's make that.
Freaking-
Do
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Jesse's dance too.
freaking
You're a TikTok master.
Oh, am I?
What are you
Oh,
talking about?
yeah.
Do you know how much can I use the hate word here?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
I just strongly dislike TikTok.
Just go
It
to America.
stresses
It's
me
banned
out.
anyways.
It stresses me out like
can. Challenge is
hell.
crazy right now.
Oh man, do you have a challenge for your new thing?
Well, I'm about to start that. So
He's gonna make one.
I'm about to
You better
pressure
do it.
It's gonna be really hard.
you guys are
It's
all
gonna
gonna
be
do
really
it.
hard.
not on TikTok.
I
okay,
don't do
we'll-
TikTok either.
We'll shoot it and we'll put it up on ours.
All right,
Okay.
all right, all right.
But
all right, yeah, yeah.
There's that pressure. What else? Like peer pressure. Like I don't know when my friends are drinking. I'm like, I'm not gonna drink. They're like, no, you have to drink. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of
that's
that
not gonna go anywhere.
here.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
there until you die, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Before we dive into today's topic of pressure, if there's anything you guys want to hear our take on, interact with us on our socials at The Dive Studios, or leave us a comment when our full episode videos go up a couple days after the audio posting at youtube.com/divepods.
Yup.
All right. And also subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And make sure to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so many more people can know about this awesome podcast.
And if you guys have a question for us at Get Real, text your question or message to 1-310-564-1030.
Thank you, Siri.
All right.
The door closes on the left.
That was yeah. All right. Anyways, that is an American number, by the way, so charges may apply. I do not know how that works.
Unless you got an iPhone.
I guess.
Text us.
Is it with the
iMessage?
Apple?
I
can you
don't know.
iMessage?
It works on any phone. It doesn't matter. But I think it works right now for US and Canada numbers.
Okay.
And then it'll
But if
open
it
up
is
internationally.
on like an iPad or something, then iMessage works. But I don't know if it's on an iPad or an iPhone.
I
But
think if you have a I can't speak. If you have a phone number, you can text it.
If
Yeah,
you
but
have
a
a
phone
cellular
number,
device,
yes.
you
Yeah.
should be able to.
Yes.
But there's probably gonna be charges because it's America.
Well, if it's a text, it should be actually depends on your plan. I got no clue.
I don't know either. Anyways, yes, pressure.
Pressure.
What pressures do you experience? I feel like you probably feel a lot of pressure from like producing and stuff.
Oh
right?
my god, bro! I feel like this album was the worst. I mean, I haven't been producing for a very long time in comparison to people who have like made it through producing.
Right.
But this one had to be like one of the most nerve-wracking processes that I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing with like music production in a label, like you guys all know how it is. When you send them the song, it's like this gang of politics. Like
Yeah.
you let one person listen to it and like, hey, like, you know, how's the song? You like the song? They like the song? All right, they're on board with you. You guys are on the same boat. You go to another guy. You like the song? I think you could use a little something more here, and I don't know, but I think the other song's a little bit, yeah. Are you not on the same boat? We got to make this guy like this song. Like, you know what I mean? There's a gang of stuff like that like I kind of like really experienced for the first time. So it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, like selling music or like selling your product almost is just what it felt like it was to me this time.
Yeah. And I feel like once you release a song, I feel like you're pressured to like have to do better than this one. It's like, oh, I gotta one up it.
Yeah.
And it's just like you gotta
Yeah.
constantly like, right?
Yeah, I think that's like something that we all probably deal with as
Yeah.
Artists.
performers
Yep.
and entertainers. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you beat that last record? How do you beat
Yeah.
that last song or the
Yep.
last whatever?
You know?
That's the hard part.
Yeah. And if you don't, it's like, are you on a decline right now?
And then
Are
you start
on a
questioning
plateau?
everything.
Yeah, bro. Life. What is life?
And then you just like, I don't know. You get
Oh,
overwhelmed.
I don't think I've gone that deep. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, I like this song. Okay, I'll release this. Oh, I like this song. Okay, I'll release this one.
We all
That's
live
great.
like
Track.
Peniel.
I'm like, I don't really dig this one. It's a pass.
It's simplicity. That's good. I
Yeah.
overthink things, and I think that's probably where I get a lot of pressure from. It's I
Mm.
overthink and I overanalyze, and I try to figure out what's the right song or business decision or
Yeah.
right program. Like
Yeah.
you get like different hobby for different shows, and then one locks you out of another.
Mhm.
If you
Oh,
do this,
yeah.
that knocks you out of
like,
another
you can't do this
thing.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, even that is just like, why is everything so complicated?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another different side of politics too over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a lot of pressure.
Pressure from what moves you got to make.
Here's a question: is there like a particular moment in time in life where you look back at and you're just like, man, I was under a lot of stress? Because I think pressure is another word for stress.
True.
Yeah,
True,
essentially.
it could be. Yeah.
You know, that could be whatever. It could be school or work or relationship
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think they're synonyms.
Trainee days were
Really?
you guys didn't have like I mean I debuted super late, that's why.
Is that why? I don't know. I had a bunch of fun when I was a trainee.
You did?
Too.
Yeah.
It was like half fun and half, kind of fear that I might get cut.
Damn.
So having to work my butt off, but I still had fun in the process.
Mm.
See, I didn't have that mindset of like, oh, I might get cut. Because I was like, if I
y'all
get-
need me.
no, I was like, if I get cut, I'll just go back to the States. Like, that was my mindset.
I
was
couldn't
like,
go back to the States, so it was all or
Mm,
nothing
okay,
for
okay.
me.
So your
Yeah.
life
Right.
was on the line.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, see,
Damn.
that's probably why I didn't feel that much pressure. And I was like, oh, if I get cut here, like, you know, like, cause like I didn't know too much about like the companies and everything. So like I was like, oh, if I get cut, I'll just try it at a different company. And I was like, that was my mindset then. So I wasn't like, I didn't feel too much stress or pressure.
I was borrowing money from my parents, bro, for like trying to live out here. I was 24, borrowing money from my parents, having them still support me while like all my friends in college were like coming out of college, going to their big boy jobs. And I was just like, you know, I was the guy that before I left, I'm gonna get you all Rolexes. Remember I told you guys?
No,
I'm gonna get you all Rolexes. I'm gonna come back a billionaire. You know, I had all these like big ass dreams, and then 24, living in like a 6 foot by 6 foot little room.
Ain't you like 6'5"?
I'm 6'2", so I had to like bend my knee a little bit.
You're sleeping diagonally.
Yeah, like literally, my head was against the wall, and then like my feet.
God.
Yeah, like, that was crazy. So pressure to
Mhm.
get out of that lifestyle was crazy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my training days were a little bit crazy.
Yeah. How was your trainee days?
I
Did
didn't
you
really
have like a
train.
trainee
Mine was
period?
like the audition program.
Right? No, I remember when I first got the cube. So I pretty much went in like as part of the project. Like I was set to debut like as soon as I went in. But then I don't know, like in the beginning, like it was like such a new atmosphere and stuff. I wasn't like 100% sure I wanted to debut in cube and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, but like, you know, for now, like I'll still like try and stuff, you know. But then I guess I didn't seem desperate enough either. So then the CEO, the VP, and the board of directors,
Whoa.
Isanim, right? Is he like the director?
VP? I don't know.
Isanim? I don't know. He's like the third or like fourth highest in the company. Like it was like the three of them and me. They called a meeting, and then they were like, "Do you think like if you don't debut, you're gonna die?" And I was like, "No." They're like, "You have to change your mindset. Like, you have to think if you don't debut, you're gonna die." And I was like, "But I'm not." Like, no. The other members have that mindset. You have to change your mindset. And I was like, I mean, I'm in a pretty good college right now in Korea. I can always go back to the States. I don't know. And they're like, no. And they're like, all right, well, if you do debut, would you try your best? And I was like, yeah, of course. If I debut, I'd try. And they're like, all right. The CEO was like, I don't know. He thinks differently. I like him. He was like, oh, he's really like fourth dimensional. Like, I like this guy.
Fair.
Okay. And that's how I got into B2B.
Wow.
Dude, congrats. It's your mindset that got you there.
There you
That's
go.
I
crazy.
guess.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. But I feel like more than like outside pressure, do you guys ever think like you pressure yourself too much?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I feel like you do. You said you're in your head all the time.
I think mine probably a lot of people who tend to make it in whatever they do, it's a fear of failure. And then I think for me, it was also, I gave up a job and I had promised to my parents, I was like, if I try this, like I have to make this work somehow.
Oh, word? What were
Like-
you trying to be before?
Well, I had a job. It was as a consultant. And so like my
Oh.
starting pay for my first year out of college was good.
Mm.
It was good. And so
Damn.
it was giving that up
Okay,
to try to become a singer,
right.
which like my mom flipped out. She was like, that's the worst thing I ever heard.
Dang.
You know, she's like, you're going to throw away 4 years of college education and a job with
Oh,
like
that's
all
like-
Oh,
these
you were
benefits.
done with all that?
I
Yeah.
graduated.
That's like the worst. That's like the worst nightmare for like an Asian.
I know. It's not even while you're in school you want to leave. It's you're
Yeah,
done. You have everything
finished
in the
college,
bag.
Everything. And then now she got bragging rights. She's like, you know how much my son's gonna make in the starting year? And then you're like, I want to get that up, mom. I was like, no,
That's
my bragging rights.
Yo, my mom was like, she was not happy, but I think that's why when I came out here and I quit my job and everything, even to like 2-3 years ago, she's like, you should just go back to your job. You should go back to your job because
Damn.
I think she sees the pressure that the industry and I put on myself.
Right.
So it's like this thing of like having to prove myself. I think also I was solo from the beginning. Like there was, I never had a team member. I never had somebody I looked up to.
True.
And people wrote me off a lot. It was like, oh, he can't really speak Korean, and his singing style's not right, and he thinks differently. So like, just write him off. And so I remember having to prove myself over and over. So having to go find the songs or write the songs, having to go meet with producers or writers and whatever like network to be like, hey, please use me.
Yeah, like in the beginning, a lot of people just knew you as like an MC.
Yeah.
I remember like a lot of my friends that were like interested in him. They were like, oh, you know, like he like MCs and stuff. I was like
a reporter.
Yeah.
I was like, you know he sings too, right? They're like, really? I was like, yeah. That's why he came to Korea. I thought he was just MC. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But now everyone knows.
Yeah.
Now
But it's I think it was also that pressure of like having to, once you get a job, how do you outperform that so you can become a singer?
Right.
Or how, you know, public perception. And then once you are a singer, how do you get to a point where you could do the music you want to do?
True.
So for me, it's always like, okay, leveling up as myself to get to what I want to do and where I want to be. I think that's like my internal pressure always.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think for me too, similar, like with my parents, they never like pressure me to, you know, like make money or be more famous or anything like that. I think because they just know everything that I went through, and they just want me to be happy and just be able to support myself on my own out here. So they don't pressure me, but it's just, I think to myself a lot because they're getting older now, and they haven't been to Korea in over 20 years, like 20 years now, and they weren't even able to attend their family's funerals. And for things like that, I just want them to be able, I just want myself to be able to support them so they don't have to work and they could just like come to Korea and just live with their families. And that's why I think I pressure myself to, you know, succeed and like make more money so I can eventually bring them out to Korea. But it's not like they ever say that to me, you know, because they don't want to pressure me and they're fine. But it's just I've been thinking that a lot, which is something that I didn't really think about before. But I think it's just naturally, as you get older, you do think more about your parents and stuff like that.
I definitely think that's like a natural pressure that comes to a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, like I want to be able to make enough money so that like my parents, like they could just live comfortably, do whatever they want, and I want to be able to do like whatever I want, like blah blah blah. I think that's like a natural pressure that most people, I won't say everyone, but like most people kind of puts on themselves.
True that.
Right? Yeah. No.
I feel that.
No, right? Yeah.
I feel that. I feel you on that.
But I feel like it's pretty natural.
When I was younger, they my mom, she was like a tiger mom. My dad was pretty chill, but my mom did pressure me to do well in school. And I understand because she was putting in a lot of money to like tutors and after school. So it wouldn't make sense if I didn't do well. So I did try hard, and that I did have a lot of pressure from that. But I feel like now she's just like whatever about it. Even with like marriage, I know a lot of people my age, they're starting to get married or like thinking about marriage. But my mom,
everybody got a baby.
Right?
Yo, babies are the biggest new trend of 2020. And if they're quarantined, oh my God. If they're a quarantine baby, they get like a special stamp of approval. It's like, I was born in quarantine.
Damn.
No, I saw something on the internet not too long ago where it was like, in 10 years, we're going to have a new set of babies and they're going to be called like the quarantine boomers or something like that. The quarantine boom.
Absolutely. So many people I know this year have kids.
Me too.
It's crazy.
So many.
So many.
It's because they're quarantined at home and they
with nothing to do.
Yeah, and
then
they're
I'm
getting a
just
little
like,
freaky with each other. What?
It's true, bro. You look so happy we're talking
Yeah,
about
little freaky with each other.
Anyways, what were we talking about? We were talking about quarantine babies.
Yes.
Little freaky.
Yeah.
Not a good time to have a baby.
I mean, if you are, good luck. Best wishes to you, but I don't know.
I mean, some people might think it's the best time to have babies because they're home. They can watch the kid. And
I guess.
Yeah. But
They could just keep eyes on it like 24/7.
But here's the thing. It's so even with dogs, right? Dogs, I think people are like, you have to get them ready for when you go back to work because they're going to have serious separation.
Yeah, separation anxiety. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's interesting to see like how this has completely changed.
Yeah, I feel like, because I heard there's like 2 types of like lack of affections, and one is like literally like
Not enough.
where you just don't get enough, and then one is like where you get too much.
Mhm.
So then like in like the real world, you know, it's like when you don't get like as much as you used to receive, you start feeling like down and stuff.
Yeah.
I heard there's actually like 2 types of like lack of affection. So like I feel like quarantine babies and dogs, like they're both gonna have like lack of affection, and like, did I say lack of anxiety before?
Yes.
Oh, I meant lack of affection.
Yeah,
Separation anxiety.
Separation
Yeah.
anxiety. Yes.
But they're gonna have separation anxiety and like lack of affection like type like symptoms, or I don't know what it's called. But
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know, you know, make sure.
Best wishes to you all with kids.
Yes. Good luck. Good luck.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
pressure.
that's a different kind
I mean,
of pressure.
okay, do you guys feel pressure to get married and have kids already from your parents?
Hell no.
My mom used to.
Oh,
Oh, I
really?
mean, she pressures you?
She used to be like, you know, when things weren't going too well with the whole like career, she was like, just find someone nice and get married and settle down. But now it's just like, put off marriage as late as you can.
Yeah.
Like, don't get married.
Why? What happened? Where did that change?
Because I think she saw that I couldn't enjoy my young adulthood, you know?
You're,
Because
like,
I was like
20s.
under the contract and I couldn't
Right.
I didn't really have a life of my own. And she sees how much I'm thriving right now and how much I'm
Right.
enjoying life. She's like, oh, you can just like live alone for like the next few years. Just
Yeah.
get married when you're like late 30s. I was like, I don't even know if I want to get married. And she's like, that's fine. And
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
like, oh, okay.
Nice.
Did you feel like how has pressure shifted for you when you were in a company and like now that you're out?
I think then since I was in the company, it was like I didn't have to worry about anything except just doing my part. You know, they figured out everything for me in terms of like music, like business, like shows, gigs. And I would just have to go and do my best there. But then now it's like I have to figure out everything on my own. And but then there's also the pressure of like, do I take this gig or do I not? Like, how do I
You're
like,
making your own decisions now.
So I don't want to make the wrong decisions, or I don't want to, you know, sell myself short. So I mean, like,
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
if the bag right.
If the dollars make
If the
sense.
bag right. No, just kidding. But yeah, that sounds like that's for sure a whole different set of pressure from being in a company. Cause like the managers literally do like everything for them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's like after you like come out of the company, it's like, wait, like how do I do my taxes? It's like,
Yeah.
how do I pay my bills? It's like, oh wait, like how do
feel that
I
way
like,
right now?
like I know I've heard of some celebrities that don't know how to check in their own their own like luggage at the airport.
I had someone call me. I'm at the airport. How do I check in? It's like you go to the counter, you give them your passport.
Yeah.
Take it and lift that big
They're like-
bag on.
But like, what do you do with the bag? You take it to the counter. And
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you
Oh my
become
God.
like, I don't want to say stupid, I guess like ignorant.
you're just not used to
Clueless.
like
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Uneducated,
you're not
pretty
independent
much.
or
Yeah.
something. I
You're
don't know,
dependent.
but,
Yeah.
You're super dependent. So then I feel like it's gonna be a whole set of other pressure when you
That-
come out.
Yeah, that's why so many celebrities get conned because like they're in the industry since they're young or like for a really long
Oh, there
time.
you
So
go. Yeah.
they don't really know much. So people take advantage of that and
Yup.
like, you know,
Yup.
sakicho and make them get into debt and
So
everything.
be careful of your business choices too, guys. Be careful. Be
It's
careful.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
You're
wild.
a shark. You're gonna be a shark.
Do you think pressure could ever be positive, like motivation maybe,
Yes.
or right?
Yes. I feel like pressure, enough of it could be inspiration and motivation. Too much of it will kill inspiration and kill
Right.
motivation.
You gotta get like a right amount of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like it's always timing and situation too. Like if I'm in need of a little push and then like I have like a company dude or like, you know, one of my friends be like, yo, this song's whack. Why can't you do better? I know you could do better. If I'm like in need of that situation where like I know I could do it too, then boom, that might help me. But if I'm like depressed mode and like, you know, no one's liking my songs and I hear that, I'll probably quit. You know, so I feel like that type of pressure.
So when you're like kind of hungry.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
So I mean, timing and situation is really important for when you give pressure to someone too.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
But too much could kill someone. Literally.
Yeah.
could kill
I
someone.
had like health issues because I was so stressed last.
Yeah.
Or people.
Last year,
No,
2
remember
years
during
ago.
the recording too. He had a busted lip.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I was like, who hit you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, oh, it's just like no sleep hit me.
Yeah, that was no sleep. No, last year was tough though. I don't remember why, but I was super stressed, and I got like stress, like gastritis.
Yeah, you had the
gosh.
stomach.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
dude.
god, that hurt so bad. I would wake up in the middle of the night with like stomach pains. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, I think it's like stress induced. Like, what is it? Your stomach just is falling apart.
What?
No, but if we talk about stress, like we can't leave you out because you know
Oh, yeah.
you went through a lot of health
Oh,
issues too.
I love
Yeah.
stress. Stress is my homie now.
Especially in the beginning, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, I'm the type that like I don't really know when I'm stressed. And my body just reacts first. That's why like my hair was falling out. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm stressed. My hair's falling out. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm stressed.
when did that
But-
start? It started like
Oh.
after you debuted.
No, like since debut.
Oh, since debut.
Yeah, it was like our debut. We were I think it was like the second week of like countdown or something. So like our second week of promotions, and then my hairstylist was like, oh, like, did you hurt your head here when you were a kid? And I was
Mhm.
like, no. Like, why? And they're like, oh, you have like a little bald spot here. And I was like,
Mhm.
I like touched it, and it's like smooth as hell. I was like, what is that?
Uh-huh.
And then like the company was like, oh, like don't worry, like a lot of celebrities get it. And I was like,
A lot of celebrities get it.
Not me.
I was like, what? For me, yeah, it was more just like I don't really feel too much pressure or like stress until it's like too much, and then I'm like, oh yeah,
Mm.
like I'm stressed.
Mm.
That's,
Like,
I think me
uh,
too.
right, yeah.
That's
yeah.
why my stomach went.
Yeah,
berserk.
yeah.
Because I just had, I mean, I knew I was stressed, but like, I
Mm.
couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was stressed, but I didn't know I was that stressed.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I was just like, oh man, and I was just like, this is probably what like everyone else is dealing
Right,
with too.
right.
But then my hair started falling out, and I was like, why is only my hair falling out? And I was like, we're going through the same stuff.
That's
No.
true.
I was like, huh?
But do you guys generally react well under stress? I feel like some people, like my mom was always like, you do well under stress. Like if you are stressed, you will study harder and you outperform. My
Mm.
brothers do not do particularly well under stress.
Right.
I feel like it's very different. Same thing with stages. Like I'll go up and I'm like, I know I don't know all the moves and I don't know all the lyrics, but I'll somehow fake my way through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like, I don't
Huh.
know.
I don't think I do well under stress.
No?
Yeah, I'm kind of like weak like you. If I'm stressed, I'll get indigested. I'll get like
Mm.
anxiety attacks and stuff like that. It was really bad during like our hiatus after the accident before we made our comeback
Yeah.
in like
Oh.
2 years after. During that hiatus, I just had like anxiety attacks and I was just afraid to go out. What is that called? Like 대인기피증? Like when you can't just be around people, like you're afraid to go outside.
What's it called?
Agoraphobia is extreme or irrational fear of crowded spaces or enclosed public places.
Yeah,
Is that what it
yeah.
was? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
what is that in Korean?
Agoraphobia.
Is it?
대인기피증. 맞죠? 대인기피증. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I think my body reacts to it first too, and like you can't really sleep well. You know, like you can
Mm.
relate to that too. A lot of you guys, I'm pretty sure you can.
Insomnia.
Yeah, insomnia, and I was just so unhappy then, like, and people always said like you look so,
Depressed.
yeah, what's wrong? Like what's wrong with you? You know, and I would just have no energy, no life in me. I was just
Yeah.
always kind of like a walking zombie.
And that's what stress does to you.
Yeah, and I don't
It's
want to do
draining.
anything. I don't want to go to practice. I don't want to go do I don't want to dance. I don't want to sing. I just want to stay home and just like be in bed all day. But yeah, I don't think I do well. It's like
Yeah.
I have to enjoy it and I have to
Mm.
be happy while doing it in order for me to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had my first panic attack recently.
Really?
Wow.
Anxiety attack.
Yes.
Recently. Like
How
I
did
would
that
hear,
go for you?
It was weird. I'll tell you guys a story. It was weird. I would always like hear about anxiety attacks and like I like look up videos on like people having their anxiety attack at the time and like recording it. But like, damn, that's so crazy. Like how does that happen mentally? Like how do you
Right.
just start crying out of nowhere and like needing to scream and your breath gets all crazy? So what happened was when I was writing this song for our recent comeback this time, people were kind of like, we don't know if we should go with that song, if that's the right move. So I was like, you know, in my heart, I feel like it's the perfect move. I feel like this song is that song. So I was kind of like, okay, no one's really on board with me. I guess I'm the one that like is not enough. Like I guess the song isn't enough. My skill set isn't there yet, which is, you know, understandable. That's all understandable. But I thought I had this in the bag. So there was one day I went to the company or to my studio when I had like literally no inspiration, like no songs were coming out that week. And then one of my friends, I was texting one of my friends. I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm gonna hit the studio right now. I'm gonna be busy. And he knew. So he was like, hey, don't go. Don't go now right now. Like, you're not in the right mindset to go. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go. He's like, no, don't go. Like, no, I'm gonna go. And then I started, you know, writing a song, and then it wasn't coming out again. And then like it was weird. At first, while I was texting him too, he was like, you know, get out of there, get some air. So I started like, my breath started getting crazy. I was like, and like I couldn't focus on like one place. My eyesight just started going around, and I felt like all of a sudden I just really needed to scream. And I started getting like feelings of like I started getting like heated up, and then I just grabbed the pillow and I just yelled in the pillow like 10 times. But then the third time I started yelling, I just started bawling while I was yelling. It was weird. And then like after I was done, I put the pillow down. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like almost as if like I was a completely different person.
Outer body experience.
Yeah, completely. So I hit up my friend. I was like, hey, he's had a lot of anxiety issues too. So I was like, hey, this is what happened. Is this an anxiety attack? He was like, yeah, you had your first attack. And I was like, oh. Yeah, it was almost, thinking back to it now, it was almost as if that memory is I'm watching it on video. Like it was really weird. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
Has it happened after that?
No,
Okay,
not one
that's good.
time ever. And it doesn't feel like it's ever gonna come back. It was almost as if all that pressure just went away with that one attack. So right now, like I'm like,
You're
okay,
good.
I'm straight.
Good. Yeah, but
That's good,
you gotta keep tabs on it. I had one last year. It was my first one.
Yeah.
I thought I was dying, and so I was convinced I was gonna die.
Yeah, they say that's what happens. Yeah.
So I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So I'm good now, but like when it happens, you're so paranoid that it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and that's what gets in your head.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get it.
And then you can't talk. Yeah.
So it was like much more about that later.
Crazy.
Yeah, I hope I never get one. I haven't had one yet.
But I think that's like part of the thing. I think it's so many people around us get them as well, and it's such a normal thing. It's just if I didn't know, had never even thought to myself, this might be an anxiety attack. Like you just have no idea. You're just freaking yourself out.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so important to talk about it. To like have discussions about it. But
super important to talk about it.
But it's like all this stuff ties in with pressure, because at the end of the day, it's how do you perform under pressure?
Yeah,
you know, be that there's good pressure, there's bad pressure. It's just that balance.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do under pressure. I don't think I'm that good under pressure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we talked a lot about kind of the pressures of adulting.
Young adulthood.
What about like for our younger? What's our age?
I think y'all got a lot of
grade.
teens.
Yeah. What are some like pressures that you had in like high school or even maybe before that everyone can kind of relate to?
Probably
Dang, trying to look dope all the time.
Wait.
Yeah.
What was your fashion swag level in high school?
At first, it was like white tees to my knees, like Dickies like super sagged down below my butt, and like K-Swisses. But after that, I started getting into like the skater look.
I mean, high school, I think people were starting to dress more like uniquely, and they were starting to express themselves.
Fashion was,
for me in junior high school was when all the girls were kind of wearing the same things, like the JanSport backpack. And
yeah.
like I said, like, you know, the big hoop earrings,
Yup.
like little like colored tanks, and like
the North Face, like
North Face jackets.
Abercrombie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Hollister.
and I don't want to, you know, be left behind. I don't want to feel left out. So I would beg my parents to buy me like an expensive padding or like, you know, like Sean John shirts or Echo Red shirts.
Sean
and, like,
I can totally imagine you with that,
Like
with
the
yellow
over-
highlights just coming
Yes.
Oh, yep.
Yes, you know,
I don't
and
know what
yeah,
genre
the
that is.
pressure to fit in and just look a certain way.
There you go. I think you just hit it right on the spot. Fitting in is
Mhm.
probably the biggest
Mm.
reason. Yeah.
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 But I was strong against like the peer pressure of smoking and drinking. Even though they were all smoking and drinking, I was just kind of standing on the side. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
that's
me too,
something
me too.
that's like one thing
Yeah.
that I refuse to do.
Me too.
True.
Yeah.
I
But
didn't
I'm
drink till-
curious how you dressed and stuff. And I-
No, so I was lucky in that we had to wear uniforms.
Oh, you went to
So-
uniform school?
I went to a uniform school,
Wow.
so it was like
was
every day
it a
the same
private
thing.
school
Yeah.
or
It
it's
was a
public
private school.
Oh, okay.
And 심지어 like to the point where Wednesdays we had to wear a tie because it was
Mhm.
chapel day, so we had to go to like church service.
Oh, you went to
in
a Christian school?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
wow.
like you have to wear a tie on Wednesdays, and then every other day
Mm.
was like a collared polo shirt. Now there was a pressure though because the school I went to, everybody was so wealthy that like I just didn't understand what was going on, and
Oh wow.
like I remember so like in public school, like if you were wearing Abercrombie,
You were rich.
you were doing well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember like wanting an Abercrombie shirt so bad.
Mm.
This is like 4th or 5th grade,
Mm.
right?
Wait, they were wearing it since 4th or 5th grade?
Not me, but
That's what
For
people with
me-
money do, I guess.
But like, so this is a public school, like, you know, like some of the kids would have like an Abercrombie shirt. So it was Abercrombie and like Von Dutch
Oh my
on
gosh,
Dutch
Von
was,
Dutch.
yeah, that
and
was
American Eagle,
Yeah,
Hollister.
Hollister, Aeropostale, like all that stuff. So like, beg my mom. I think it was like for Christmas. Like, can I please get an Abercrombie
Yeah.
shirt? And she was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." And like, why are you making holes in a T-shirt? Why are you how are you selling this to kids? And but I got it. And then I went to this private school, and then
You
people
can't
would be
even
like,
wear it.
"Well, you can't even wear it." But then they're like, "Ugh, Abercrombie's so disgusting."
What?
And then like they would only wear like Polo Ralph Lauren,
Oh.
whatever, like and Brooks Brothers. And I was like, what the hell? I spent all 6 months trying to get my mom to buy me a freaking Abercrombie shirt.
Damn.
And as soon as I switched schools, I can't even wear this shirt. Like it was just really confusing. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just embrace that weird, awkward, nerdy loser Eric that you are. And that's, I mean,
Your mom told you that?
No. I
Oh,
was
okay, I was
just-
about to say.
I was just like, whatever. It's just the way it is.
All right. Yes. Well, I think we've done enough talking about pressure now. We're gonna go to mail time.
Mail time.
Yes, and someone on our Discord posted this message asking for advice related to pressure. So yes, let's see if we have any insight. All right. I think it's common in every family to get compared to your siblings, cousins, or even with your mom's friends' children. Have you ever been in a situation where this type of comparison affected your mentality and made you feel super insecure? How do you handle comparisons as someone in a K-pop group with other members? From Strawberry.
Word.
Strawberry. They have a phrase for that in Korea. 엄친아.
Sinah.
엄친아.
Eric is the
엄친딸.
ultimate omchina.
Oh yeah, Eric is the
I
nation's
remember.
omchina.
Yes.
You remember
Omchina,
that?
omchina.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
God.
Yeah.
Everyone knew
Yeah.
you as omchina.
That was me.
Well,
What's omchina?
but he gave up his mom's
엄마의
bragging rights.
친구의 아들.
아들.
So
Ah,
mom's
okay,
friend's
okay.
son.
That like you know who she always compares you to.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay,
wild
okay.
because I felt like I had so many around me that I hated. So I literally, they're like, "What do you think?" And I was like, I literally remember, I remember on like interviews, like, "Oh, you're omchina. What do you think?" I was like, "Well, if I was not me, I would hate me."
That's depressing as hell.
Well, only because like I had been compared so much growing up.
Yeah.
So it's like I know what
Mhm.
I'm being compared to. So I was like, I don't think I'm that big of a deal, but like people keep saying that, so like please don't hate me. Essentially, I was like, please don't hate me.
Did your parents compare you a lot to? other
Dude, I
people?
got compared all the time. They're like, I think on other podcasts, I literally called everybody's real name out accidentally. But like, I remember.
Like, screw you guys. You guys
No,
ruined my life.
It wasn't even that. My parents would always be like, my mom was like, this kid went to governor's honors program. This kid made all state, and this kid got all A's. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm not that
Yeah,
guy.
might be.
Yeah.
It was all the time.
My mom did that too. Like
All
this
the time.
person got scholarship and she studied all on her own. She didn't
Yeah.
need tutors or academy.
Got a
And it's like,
1600, 2400. It's like,
sorry.
well, she ain't got no friends.
Did your parents, because you have two other brothers, did
Yeah.
your parents compare them to you, or?
I think they did compare them to me, and then more than that, a lot of teachers compared them to like Eddie.
Oh.
So Eddie always would come back from like school and be like, "Oh, this teacher hates me." I was like, "Teacher's like the nicest teacher in the entire school,
Mhm.
but we're just so different
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
think the teachers had a certain expectation of, okay, he's gonna at least do his homework and like contribute to class." And Eddie's like, "F that! I'm gonna shoot spitballs at the wall or something." Like, and so I remember he always did have a pressure of like trying to be somewhat decent. But that's on him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Dang.
Did you guys get compared to?
No, my dad would always be like, "Hey, Albert Einstein said this," or like, you know, some like old like famous successful person said this.
Philosopher.
Yeah. It was never like, "You're a failure because you're not like that guy." They never did that. Come to think about it, wow, thank you. Wow, I never felt that pressure. No, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
That's great.
my parents never really pressured me that much either.
Mm.
It was more like I didn't want to disappoint them.
Mm.
So I just started like, I remember I got a D once in my midterm,
No.
and yeah, I just saw like they didn't even like discipline me or punish me or whatever. I just saw the disappointment in their face, and I was like,
The D wasn't for discipline; it was for disappointment.
yeah,
Bro,
I
are
was
you
like-
even Asian? A D?
Yeah.
I know, right? Like I'm Asian and I got a D. Oh gosh. But yeah, I just saw like the disappointment, so I was like, all right, I gotta step it up. I was like, but I mean, thankfully it was only midterm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I was able to bring it up. But yeah, I don't think I ever had like that sort of pressure because my sister was like, she was like all AP. Like I remember like she pretty much graduated a year early because she had so many like AP points or whatever.
Wow.
Mm.
And but I still got a higher ACT score. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's like she was like super good at studying and everything. She did like double major or something. I'm over here like I don't know what I want to go to college for. And like
It's
so
okay. You're in B2B now.
yeah.
But like, I feel like there's also, you know, there's school pressure, but there's also like, I don't feel this because I'm not in a group. But I've heard that like, especially girl groups, it's like, I want better clothes. I want this makeup, or why does she get that and I don't? And I don't know what it's like with you or with a guy group. What's that like?
I think, well, for me personally, I think the reason why we never have problems is that because we each saw, all of us saw that some people had, you know, some people were better at something than others. Each person had something to, you know, show off on their own. But then it's just that some people, they get really jealous and envious when one person's getting all the attention
Right.
because they want that too.
Mm.
But it was like for us, we were pretty, none of us were really evil. We just understood each
good.
other.
That's
And
good. There's some evil people out there.
yeah, and if
Yes.
this one member was going on variety show, we'd be like, okay, great, because you're perfect for variety show. You had that personality for it. If one person was doing all the singing, be like, okay, yes, she's the main vocalist. She has to do that. And you know, something with like dancing or other stuff in
True.
English, like I would do it. We all knew that we had our own strengths and weaknesses, and we
Right.
had each other to
Yeah.
cover that up. But then it becomes a problem when there's that one person who wants to do everything, and they're like,
Right.
True.
I'm good at that. Like I'm better than her at that. And with like clothes too, with if we didn't like our outfits, we would talk crap about the stylist together. Not like you know, like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, why is she getting the better clothes? It was like, oh my gosh, she's dressing me weird, and like, oh my god, yeah, what's wrong with your outfit? It was kind of like that.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think I'm like that too. I have J7 is really good with variety shows. So when we go on like talk shows and whatnot, he's generally the one that like, you know, kind of ups the vibe and like
Right,
kind of
right,
makes
right,
people
right,
laugh
right.
and whatnot. So
Mm.
naturally, no one really said to me like, "Hey, why are you stuck at variety?" But it's like naturally, like when I'm there, it's like, "What? You know, I gotta say something." Like,
Mm.
should,
Yeah,
should I say
yeah,
something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
so like you're kind of waiting, but at the same time, it's like, dang. So it wasn't really jealousy. It was more like I envy that and I respect that.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
you're
yeah,
very
yeah,
good
yeah.
at
Mhm.
making people laugh and like you know talking your talk. So I mean, for this person, I think I'd say just let it fuel you almost, kind of, if it can.
Yeah, and then even if you get that like outside pressure, just know who you are.
Yeah. One up yourself.
Yeah, just love yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't really care about the other people. Because you know, success is the best form of revenge. So, all right.
Amen.
All right. All right.
Hallelujah.
All right. But yes, anyways, we're gonna wrap up this episode. I think we talked enough today. Talked too much. Yes, anyways, if you wish to stay updated on the show, follow us on our socials at The Dive Studios. And full episodes will be up on YouTube a few days later at youtube.com/divepods.
Yeah.
So yes, once again, subscribe to and review this podcast on
stars.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts. 5 stars only.
5
Cinco.
stars.
Good
Cinco,
comments
cinco.
only. And yes, thank you everyone for listening, and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.